Josh loved basketball since childhood and is determined to play for the national team of Nigeria or even the NBA. Josh goes for training every day of his life since he was a teenager, and in his early 20s has been determined to be called by the national team. His friends always praise him and always are happy to see him in the basketball court. Even though his mom lost hope in the future that he will ever get a call from the NBA or even the national basketball team, Josh kept pushing and hoping that one day his dream will eventually be materialized. His best friend called Maya has been on the lookout for opportunities for him, so they decided to record Josh whilst playing his normal routine on the basketball court. Then an opening came in and Maya saw the opportunity, gave that video of him playing and making a lot of good shots in the basketball. Maya applied with his video and other qualification that he has, and a month later he got qualified and got called for an endorsement. This was a very big moment for Josh and Maya. He eventually broke the good news to his parents. Maya was so happy hearing from Josh that he has been called, and they were all so happy to celebrate this big moment. The agents made an agreement with Josh in his house, including his mom. Before the agreement, Josh invited his longtime friend Lizzie to come and witness the very good moments in his life. After the agreement was signed and everything was sorted out, Josh and Liz went on a date. When they returned from the date, Josh promised to tell Lizzie a big and sweet secret. Lizzie was insisting on Josh to tell her what the secret was about, but Josh promised to tell her afterwards, before anything else or before he travels out of the country. Lizzie just could not wait till Josh tells her. Next day, Josh and Lizzie went to the basketball so that he could play the basketball for the meantime before time is up for him to travel. Lizzie was happy to see Josh in his element. After the game, whilst Josh and Lizzie were walking on the street, Lizzie reminded Josh on the secret he wanted to tell her. Josh promised to tell her when the right time comes. Lizzie continued to insist, so while they were having this little argument, a car rushed and hit Josh. This was an unfortunate incident. This landed him in the hospital, and a week later he found himself in a wheelchair. This led to depression for Josh. He did not want to have anything to do with basketball. He refused to talk to anybody. He refused to eat. He refused to talk. He also refused to even see Lizzie. He was not responding to anybody's call or even minding anybody. He locked himself up in his room whilst he cries himself to sleep. This continued for some days, and Maya and his other friends were worried because they've not heard from Josh for a couple of days now. So they called his phone number of time. There was no answer. Maya asked the colleague at the basketball court if they've heard of Josh. They all said they have not heard from him. Lizzie visited Josh again to find out if he was ready to talk at this time. Again, Josh refused to talk to anybody. Lizzie went to meet Josh's mother and said that it seems Josh is not ready to talk, so she is going to give him space until he finds himself again. Josh's mother understood and said anytime Josh is ready to talk, she will call her. Kenny and Boy were other friends of the basketball team that Josh used to play. So they visited him in the house, approached the mom, and the mom narrated how he got into an accident. They went to visit him in his room. He still refused to talk to them. They tried his best for him to talk, but they still could not get him to talk. They left and informed Maya about the situation. Maya was so sad and angry at the same time. Tried to visit him in the house, but Josh's mother refused for Maya to enter the house. 2 days later, Kenny and his friend visited Josh again, and still the same thing. So Kenny told Josh's mother that the only person that can get to Josh is Maya. Josh's mother did not believe it because she once threw Maya out of the house. Kenny promised that the only person who can really get to Josh is Maya. So they invited Maya over, and Maya saw the situation Josh was in. He was crying, and Maya told him that this is not the time to cry. His life is not over. He still can walk if he really wants to. So Maya suggested a physiotherapy that can help, and also she will be visiting him all the time while the physiotherapist is around. Josh's mother agreed, and they invited a physiotherapy a day after, and the journey started. He did not want to follow that journey, but Maya talked sense into him and he agreed. Weeks later, they started seeing improvement in his movement. He started talking, he started eating, and started having conversation with Maya. Months later, he was out of the wheelchair but using crutches. He was able to move himself around. A day later, Josh's mother called Maya and thanked her for everything he was able to achieve under her care. Josh's mother also apologizes to Maya for what she did to her when she initially came to visit Josh. Now that Josh is in the right frame of mind, Josh's mother told him that the agent has cancelled his agreement, and hopefully in the future they can be able to work with another agent again. Josh agreed and said it's not the agent's fault, but rather the accident happened, so he understands. Maya also encouraged him and told him that things will be better right after he gets back on his feet. In the evening, Josh called Liz and told her that he is able to limp or walk on his own now. Then he also wants to see Lizzie. Lizzie was happy that Josh is back on his feet and he's okay now. Also mentally, he can able to understand what happened. Next day, Liz visited and they talked things out. And Lizzie also apologized for leaving him in that condition. Josh understood and said everything will be okay. A month later, Josh is able to walk on his own without using the crutches. Josh's mother and his uncle saw the progress and they were also happy for him. And this time around, they tried to convince him to go back to the basketball court. He refused, but Maya stepped in and talked to him that this is not the end of his career. If he really wants to, he can still achieve it. Josh was convinced that it is for the best, but he also agreed to go back to the basketball court. A week later, Josh and Lizzie visited the basketball court, played his heart out, and promised to be back fully on the court.
Thanks for watching this recap. This channel brings you the best Nollywood movies. We save you time and money. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos for more movie recaps.